Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. I need you guys to smash that like button. Today I'm going to show you how to make a Timbaland style track inside of FL Studio. You guys will get all the project files for free. So we're going to use only FL Studio plugins today, and I'll provide the samples for you guys. So again, go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. So this is from the 0G ethnic pack called Partition G. Partition G, and this is under the China instruments. Okay, so we're gonna pull the sounds from here. Okay, and then I have a bunch of drums. So we'll get to the drums. So there's a lot of drums to preview. So let's just double click and let's group these here with the top left. Let's go to group selected. Let's call these drums because we have so many samples. I want to be able to just quickly see stuff instead of all the drums blocking up the whole screen. Okay, so now that we have all these sounds, and again, I've sat there and gone through the sounds, we even have the cricket sound. So I pitched this up 3 semitones to get that Timbaland tuning. We're going to double click all these sounds, hit Control L, send them to the mixer. Let's open up the mixer here, and we have a lot of channels taken up already. So let's subgroup these into a group called drums. Let's hit Control, highlight all these channels, right click the up arrow here, route to this track only. So now all those sounds are going to the drum channel here, and we could level a little bit easier. I'd recommend, also hitting Control, highlight all these channels, pull these down about 9 dB to give yourself some headroom. I'm reading the values in the top left. All right, so that's the setup today. All right, so let's start sampling. So we have some impact sounds here. And before we get into like what sounds, we need to understand what are we looking for. So here are the 4 layers. We're at 80 BPM today. The 4 layers are the top line. This is your memorable melody. You have a harmony section. This is your chord to glue to the track. You have the contrast layer, aka the bass line or the counter melody. And we have the rhythm section, okay? So Timbaland's known for his rhythms, and then the rest is from the sample. So let's start with the contrast or the harmony section. So this provides the harmony. Okay, so let's right click, open and slice, hit Control L. Actually, X out of here, go to the channel rec, scroll down, hit Control L, make sure that goes to the mixer. We're gonna hit Control X and find a new empty. So this is why I group stuff, because now I don't want all these drums in the way. We're gonna highlight just that one instrument and group it as sound. Let's call it instruments for now. Okay, instruments. So now when I click this drop down, I could only see the instruments instead of all those drums. So it clears up a lot of space. Okay, now in slice, it should chop based on the transient. So let's just see what it chopped so far. I could tell that it did a couple missed chops here. All right, so let's just undo some of the work that it did. I don't even know what I just clicked. Okay, so let's get rid of some of these markers. Let's delete. I could visually tell it chopped incorrectly. So let's just delete some of those excess markers here. Just right click, delete. And we only need this to chop at the transients. Okay, now we can create a harmony or a chord progression. In a sense, it's not it's technically a chord progression. It's just stacked sounds. Okay, but this will feel like a chord progression. Let's delete those markers. So we should have all the markers chopped. Okay, so let's start here. And to Control X, let's record this to the metronome. So we're going to start with the music first and then add the rhythm. All right, so we can't really stutter this one to create a rhythm. It just has to play. All right, this might be a little too much impact sound for this BPM. So I hit Control Q to quantize. Let's just turn this down. If anything, that will be a background harmony. We could build around this. So now let's look for his known. Let's start building out the rhythm here. So the one cool thing about Timbaland, he would make an 80 BPM sound like 160. So that's how we're going to play this kick. Now, before we get to the kick, let's do the hi-hats. I'm just going to record one hi-hat here. I feel like this BPM is a little slow. I might up it. Let's up the BPM. All right, let's go to 100, and if this is too fast, we'll pull it back. So at first I was referencing a different song in my head, but let's speed it up for the sample. All right, we're not going to treat this like a boom bap track where we need to hand draw every single hi-hat. So nothing crazy just yet. This is where we're grabbing the samples from. Let's hit Alt Q. Also, I'm going to move this to a different pattern. I don't want my drums to mix with the instruments. Let's hit Control X, hit Control V to paste on the pattern 2, add pattern 2. So now we have a rhythm, and now we can turn off the metronome. Okay, let's go to pattern 3. Let's just start adding these snares. So Timbaland is known for like double snares. And you can omit a snare as well. All right, so I might get rid of the double snare. Just depends. Let's hit Alt Q, quantize. Okay, so the kick is going to be the life of the track. All right, so we're going to make it very danceable, very clubby. So it's 3-4, boom, boom, 3-4. All right, so it works out when you add that kick. Now I feel like if I quantize the kick, it will take out too much of that bounce. So let's not quantize the kick too much. So let's turn up this sample. Let's go back to our sample. Turn it up a little bit. Okay, so now we want to look for other instruments. So I recommend you guys download also vocal chops from Indian samples off of YouTube. Let's see, there's another like little vocal sample in here. Here where it is. I think it's here. So some people think this is from India, but it's actually the China sound. So let's open this up, open it up and slice, and let's see if we can blend these two together. I'm not going to overly worry about the key just yet. We just want to hear. Let's hit Control L, send this to the mixer. So let's add this as a little. So see how we're combining multiple samples, but it feels cohesive. All right, so we might need to quantize that. So far, that could be the top line, but to me, that's what we call a top line expression layer. It's not really like the memorable melody necessarily. It's more of an exaggerated high-pitched thing. So we're going to put this in what's called the top line expressive category. So each one of these layers, top line, harmony, contrast, and rhythm, these all have what we call expressive layers, which we can layer over top to create change over time. So whenever you're stuck and you need your beat to move forward, think about the expression layers. All right, so that is more of an expression layer in my opinion. So what would a rhythm expression be? That like hi-hat rolls, contrast expression is bass slide, stuff like that. Let's quantize, see if we can get it. Let's turn this down a little bit. Let's delay the sound just a little bit. So the more truncated the sound, aka the more the sound cuts off, the more bounce you're gonna get. Let's see what else we have. We don't want to overkill and add too many. We can find some impact drums though from Japan. So that's like very heavy. So let's open it up and slice. Let's see what we can separate here. So let's layer these drums because they sound bigger because it's more of a crowd. Let's record this in. Let's go back one more time and add the actually, let me undo that. All right, so this is what we are adding here is a rhythm section. You can consider it a rhythm expressive layer because this is more anthemic of a sound. All right, so I'm going to use these two to add more impact to that kick. May fit, it may not fit. It might be more of a distraction. Let's just pull that back. All right, so now we need a bass. We still need a contrast layer and a main top line here. So this is how we start formatting and arranging the beat. So we still need another sample here. And let's find our samples folder. I have a folder from, you guys could do your research on YouTube. I'd recommend you look up Indian samples. And now we can just right click, open this up and slice. Right click, medium auto slicing. It probably will slice it too small, like too fine of a, you know, too granular of chops. So I'd recommend something better. Let me think, what can we use as FL that doesn't chop it as much? Let's see if Fruity Slicer might be a little more tame on its slices. So it's still a little aggressive with the slicing. Let's see here, let's slice. All right, that is way too many. Let's do dull. Dull usually gives you really broad. This may work, let's just try this. All right, so all we need to do is just tune this closer to our main sample. The sample just isn't fitting the vibe. And then after this, we'll add percussion and then we'll add the bass line. This thing froze on me. I feel like this one will work better. So now we're just grabbing random samples. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just from a certain culture. Let's do dull. And I think we can, in Fruity Slicer, we could tell it what it needs to chop. Oh, this is stretching method. Never mind. All right, so never mind. So here's where I feel like this vocal sample is more important than the orchestra. So now I'm gonna force the orchestra to work with this sample, because this is more repetitive and more memorable than the harmony section from the orchestra. So let's record this and then we'll tune everything accordingly if we can fit it. All right, so now we're gonna see if we could just tune this. So we could, but one of the hits is not. It's that second hit. It goes dun. So we could just swap that out. It still feels a little detuned. So I'm gonna go to Fruity Slicer and just try to audibly use this one, because it's harder to hear the orchestra because it's different instruments playing. See how that feels a little more cohesive? Not a perfect tuning, but better. So now we can have both layers. I'll probably filter out some of the highs. It's a little too aggressive. So I'm just adding the low pass filter to articulator 1. All right, so I'm just switching up the ending. But that is definitely not in the same key. So let's go here. Let's figure out how to tune it. So see how I'm picking the priority sound first and building around that. I'm not letting the orchestra tuning dictate how I pitch the vocals. So that's how you guys should think. Is like, what is more important to the song? You know, the orchestra harmony was not that important. That's why I let that vocal supersede that. All right, now we're gonna tune this. See if we can even tune it. We should be able to, in theory, copy the same tuning. A little. Just gonna do it by ear. Should be done. It's closer. There we go. Now we're closer. Now the sample does play faster now that it's pitched up. To prevent the our ear getting used to the timing, I'm going to delay the second sample, so it doesn't feel rushed. Now let's add the percussion in the beat, like the crickets and all this. Let's right click, make sure we cut itself. Right click, fill each 4 steps for the crickets. Let's add some crickets up in here. Stand correctly, fill each 2 steps. All right, so the beat can't play the same thing over and over again. Let's let the vocal come in over time. Okay, so now I'm just using my ear to add in more. Now for these rhythm sections, we want to create long patterns here so it doesn't sound repetitive. Also, I want to utilize those syncopated notes. Syncopation is on the and, so it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and. A simple way to do this is right click, fill each 4 steps. Hit Control Shift, use your arrows on your keyboard. It's a faster way to do syncopation. Okay, we have a couple bounce basses here. So for these bass guitars, actually we're gonna use, let's see here. Let's do the sub bass first. Let me turn this up in the mixer. So these are the notes I'm playing. B and F sharp. This is 5 notes down. Let's add more of a tonal bass in here. That was more of a sub bass. Let's hit Alt Q. So now we're adding contrast. Now it is clashing with our kick because the kick has such a low frequency in it. Okay, so we still need more movement. Gonna add more percussion, I'm going to add more percussion in here. All right, so this is just, we're playing a sample loop, but I'm playing a high note, so it's pitched up. And because the timing of the sample just lines up with the BPM, we don't need to time stretch it and do a bunch of stuff. Let's just latch paste this. So basically I'm using an unstretched loop, but it sounds rhythmically in pocket. Let's play this all the way through. These little things add more rhythm to the track. So one of these snares, I have an idea. I'm going to delay the snare just a step. Let me see if I could find our drums. I think this is a snare, right? Yeah, so what we will do here is I have the second snare delayed just to have, one beat, quarter beat. All right, let's see if that sounds cool. Now again, this might sound cool soloed, but let's do it in context. That's more percussion in here. right, now let's add some more bass. Let's add TB303. I think this is from, oh, that's the Roland one, my bad. So it's called, I forgot the name of it. FL Studio has their own TB303 emulation. I forget what it's called though. What is it called here? Let me pause the video as I, okay, I found it. It's called Transistor Bass. This is an FL Studio plugin here. I just got to figure out how to turn off the sequence. And then once I figure out how to turn off the sequence, I think you just turn this off. Okay, then we can use individual notes here. So let's go to presets. I don't think they have any, do they? Let me see. So now I'm just going through tones. I'm gonna take the kick out because I might change the rhythm here with the bass. So we're just doing trecio, boom, trecio, same pattern. One of these rhythms is going against the grain. I think it's the shakers. Let's take out the hi-hat. Just gotta find the hi-hat. I think the hi-hat is too basic. I might go back to the kick. Take out some of these kicks. And the way the harmonies play, dun, 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 I might replay the actual rhythm. So it doesn't, so it has more of a trecio bounce. So let's go in here and just start stuttering up these chops a little bit. So let's say you want to pitch this up, you know, one semitone. We can go to the bottom left, go to control, go to note, fine tune pitch, and then pitch this up 100 cents, which is one semitone. So just that one note. Yeah, so I like that. I think it was the way I played the actual chop. Got to fix some of the bass. Something's not lining up. I can't figure out what it is. It might be that snare. Let's just turn that snare down. It is a little distracting. So everything's trying to be loud, and that's why it's not efficient here. So everything's trying to move. We got to figure out which rhythm is not fitting in the pocket. So let's go sound by sound until we find the culprit. Let's turn this bass up a little bit. I don't know why this bass is so quiet. All right, I figured out what it is. It's that double kick at the end here. So let's fix that. It should be doom doom. That's what it is. Okay, so the double kick's not gonna work for the bounce. It's just that double kick. This is why I said you guys gotta understand these layers so that when you run into stuff like this, you know how to fix it and adjust. Also, I might swap out the kick. Let's see. I feel like the other kick is very stadium-like. Alright, so far everything's in rhythm. Okay, the crickets are way out of rhythm. That explains it. Alright, so the crickets are not on beat. So let's do this. Let's go to mode, stretch mode, right click, and just... It's kind of hard to... I might just turn this off. Because the way I would do it is drag it into the actual playlist. Let's go back to that kick. It's a little dull now. Let's go back to the original. All right, so now all the rhythms are lining up. Also lower the BPM a little bit. It's a little fast. All right, so let's take out that bass for a second. Forgot what layer this is. Okay, clap. Something I just remembered is that I didn't quantize the kick. Let's go back to the kick, hit Alt Q. Let's bring the bass in over time. But like the top line is just too distracting, or the harmony. So we still need more movement in this track. So start adding some bass. So I have to tune the instruments because we just have to tune the instruments from now on. We have to pitch them up. That's why the kick kind of felt a little out of pocket. Same with the bass. Now we just need like really big sounding synths. Again, we need to add this stuff to our instruments group so that we can group, what is this? Add to, I don't even know how to like remove stuff from a group. I'm not sure how to do this here. So the reason I'm moving this to a different group is so that I can visually see what's going on. The move selected. Dang, I don't know how to change groups on here. All right, it's not even clear. Group selected. Oh, so I don't know. I'm not sure how to switch groups for this sound specifically. So for the bass line, we just got to make sure we come back to the drums. I should have made sure to add it in here. I just realized we have a... Let's go to like, let's go to Harmore, see what kind of super saw we can create here. Let's go to presets, default. Let's do unison order here. Let's do 8 voice unison. Let's do 7 voice. Pull the pitch tuning in. Pull the pan width in. Detune it a little bit. Now we have that kind of resound. Remember, we need to tune it to match. Okay, so now we can add our music over top. I'm gonna add a couple more bass notes in here, so it goes just a little more stuttery bass. I want to see if we can get a deeper note. This bass is cool, but it's a little thin. It doesn't have that like sub layer. I like the tone, but let's try a difference. Never mind. Forgot we could edit the sound here. I had a high pass filter on it, no wonder. There we go, now we have a bass. Let's add some. So I'm just gonna play some random chords here. Probably D minor, starting at D minor. All right, so let's hear this back. Hit Alt Q. Let's add a little reverb and release tail to the saw. Like the drums could be a little more rapid. Kind of want to get rid of the shaker. Now we're adding harmony to the track. Let's clone the same sound here. Take off the release tail and the reverb. And we're going to run this through an arpeggio. Under the cog icon, go to the wrench tool, turn up the up arpeggio. Let's repeat this in threes. Let's go up 3 octaves. And we need to lower the time here to make it super fast. Let's do, I think it's in increments of 6. Now we're just on the layer of the chords. Actually, really, we don't need to. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to clone the chords. Control C, Control V. Again, you guys get all the project files for free. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. Let's see. Let's hit Control L, send it to a new mix. Pull this up 1 octave, Control up. Actually, I'm going to play it by hand because it doesn't, I think it's because we have too many notes. Wasn't the greatest timing. Let's find that drum pattern. So I'm just adding these little stutter kicks. I think it adds a nice pull on the sound. So now we're just trying to stack up sounds that fill in. Like we need more high frequency moving things. Let's go back to our hi-hats, figure out what we're missing here. I think the hi-hats need to be faster. They're too slow. Let's just hit Control A, hit Shift. There we go. you know what we could do? Let's see here. We're going to copy the hi-hats. Let's go to the second hi-hat. Let's right click. Or excuse me, just hit Control V. Right click, go to the piano roll, hit Control V. Now we have this ping pong thing, and let's pan one to the right, one to the left. Let's do it the opposite way, actually. Right, left. I'm going to pull up our clap. Let's have more claps in here. Just want to pan the claps, make them sound bigger. Also, you could add a time delay. So that's how you make big claps. You just layer them and offset the time in panning. Go back to this bass. Edit the bass a little bit. So I'm just taking out some of the bite. With the envelope up like that, you get more of a higher cutoff frequency starting point, and then that's how you lower it. Let's see what else we can add in here. I feel like we could add like some kind of flute. Let's see if we can find some kind of flute. All right, so let's open this up. This time we're going to open it up in a sampler. Hit Control L. We're going to go to the flute. Turn the whole parameter all the way up. Turn everything else down. We're going to make sure we tune this. And now we can play it like an instrument. Kind of need a flute that. That one sounds cool too. Let's try this one. It might not fit though. Matches at the end. Now let's get rid of that. It just sounds stupid. Let's bring the vocal chop over time though. Add these flutes in here. So the project is a little messy because there's so many samples. So we're just adding a flute one shot, and I'm controlling it with the volume envelope. background. So let's just add that in. We're going to quantize. Actually, we need to play a little ahead of the beat. Just turn that down. So to me, that's a contrast expression layer. I got to figure out where it even is. We're on pattern 13. Here's where it gets a little messy when you create groups in your channel rack. You might not know which pattern you're on. So that's not the greatest workflow, but we had so many drum samples that we had to separate the screen. So it's like a counter melody. I feel like we could add this as like an ending. Pretty cool. Let's add this in. So at this point, you know, it's just creative, expressive stuff. Double click, stretch mode, stretch it out to however many bars you think it is. I can visually see kind of where it should land. So I'm going to fix this because it's not perfectly time stretched here because too much to explain. Let's hit Alt, left click, drag this out. So now that kick. And now it's got to make sure I chop this vertically. Let's take off time stretch, go to here, slice. And now I can decide if I want to pull this back. For example, I could just grab that. If I want it to have a fast roll or a slow roll. So let's change the snap to grid here to a beat. And I like the, I like how fast it is. This is about making the drum sound a little bit bigger. So let's see if we can find some drum layers here. What the heck does that sound? Take this flute out of the beginning. Does not need to be there. Not sure what was even on pattern 8. This could be a cool look. But you got to really do it by ear here. I'm going to move really quick. It goes ta 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 one ta ta ta. It goes like that. So I'm going to use my ear and visually grab the time stretch. Let's turn this down. And I can visually see that's where the kick is on the downbeat. Let's drag that out. It's a little, I don't think this is gonna, it doesn't line up, never mind. Worth the try though. Yeah. I feel like here's where Timbaland would do his like chant stuff. Let's add some stuff in here. Yeah. All right, so the reason I did 4 takes is because I'm going to slice these and layer them. So let's go here, shift, left click with the slice tool, click each thing, make it unique. You could do it as a sample, but we're just going to make unique for now. We don't need to perfectly time stretch. The main thing is we need these to be on separate channels. Let's do this, boom. double click on the first one, hit Control L. Go to each vocal, hit Control L, send these to the mixer. So now they're all different, and we're gonna pan one left, one hard right, 150% left-ish, and then 150% to the right. Should get a nice wide sound here. Let me turn it up for you guys, hold on. Now you can see how much room vocals take up. I feel like the beginning just needs a stronger intro. Let's add some reverb to that vocal sample. Let's just add some effects to make it sound a little bit different. Let's add some piano as the final touch here. So we're under Flex, Essential Pianos. Still think the shaker is just eating up too much room, but I kind of like that Snoop Dogg. So I'm just gonna play some piano. We may or may not use it. I'm liking the chords though that I'm coming up with. So let's clone this. Do one thing here. When you guys arrange your stuff, you got to make sure that nothing goes over that bar, because when you hit Control B, latch paste, it will potentially have a gap. Let's figure out these chords here. Let's just go back and record some. messed up because I was thinking too much. Trying to decide where to add this piano. I might do it during this breakdown. Brain, for some reason on that fifth chord, I just go blank. Okay, this may or may not fit because it's very anthemic sounding, so this is more of an experimental breakdown here. And we will have to change the bass too. Let's copy and paste this chord progression into our synthesizer. See, that goes with the darn. That fits very well with that sound, just not the current bass line. So here's where you got to put on your composer hat. And all we're really doing is just moving these same pieces just to different instruments here. So now we're going to go back to our synthesizer. Paste that in and see if we could layer these. Again, it's the harmony section here. I feel like this might be too loud. So let's clone this. Instead of using automation, let's just clone it and just turn this one down. Now we can go back with the bass line. And here you could do more beatbox, like eep eep arrow, eep eep arrow. So I'm just gonna record on loop. Eep eep arrow, 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 eep eep arrow. Alright, so I know it sounds crazy, but let's turn this down. Let's pan one to the left, one right. We could add that typical EQ, which is like that telephone effect. Just cut out the lows, cut out the highs, boost somewhere around. I'm gonna add a couple. I'm adding like a flangery chord sound. that gross beat. Let's add some stuttering. Let's go back and add some bass synths. All right, so I'm just gonna try out different bass ideas. The bass sounds out of key. Let me figure out why. Oh, somehow the tuning didn't. I don't know what happened. How this got reset. One of those notes feels off. Like right here, should we? I don't know why this sounds off, even though it's the right note. Oh, you know what? I did play A. So to keep a bounce here, I'm adding the perfect fifth, which is 7 notes up from the root note. To add more sound effects on this sound. So let's hear this. Still felt like we need a bass. Let's start mixing this a little bit so we get more of a vibe. I'm just trying to figure out which sounds are not turned down. But like, can't figure out why these drums sound so loud. I think because I turned them up at the channel level. I think that's why. So basically we need to turn this stuff back down. That's what I'm saying. We shouldn't be clipping. Something's routed, probably misrouted somewhere. I just don't feel like figuring it out. Let's just lower the drums as a whole down. It's too loud. Or, I know what I can do. Actually, no, never mind. Let's just re-level it here. So now I just gotta go through, I'm just gonna turn off my mic and level these sounds here. Fruity limiter here as the group channel, pushing the drums into it for that saturated sound. You know what I'll do first is I'll run the saturator on the drums first. That way we're not saturating the entire track. So the drums are going crazy loud. This is why we group the sounds, because now I can turn down the whole group as opposed to the entire song. So let's go back and start messing with the fruity slicer with the time stretch. So I kind of like the stutter effect. Let's make this unique. What we'll do is we'll clone the fruity slicer and just revert all those effects. So we can always go back to the original here. But let's do this again. So now I'm adding pitch slide effects. let's play this track one more time through. All right, you guys will get these project files for free. Just go to busyworksbeats.com/FL Studio. Share this video with a friend, and peace out, guys. Subscribe if you're new. Peace.